Here's your drink, George. Thank you, John. You're so welcome. Here's some gin. Some gin.
So I was reading here on your sermon about free grace. And I was thinking, I don't know if I necessarily agree with all the points that you were saying. I mean, I don't know. You were just talking about how you... I don't think that your definitions of free grace were necessarily what I would agree with, because that's it, like the way you see grace and the way I see
Yo, George! George!
What's up?
How you doing?
John, this is Johnny. John,
Nice to meet you, John.
Nice to meet
Hey,
you.
John.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
So crazily, we were just talking about his sermon on free grace, and we were just talking about, like, I was like thinking about what she was mentioning about predestination, you know, and like, what do you feel about that?
Well, predestination works like this, according to the scriptures. Predestination is that God, in eternity, looked on, say, myself, for instance, and he looked on people, and for no particular reason, he predestined certain people to follow him.
Yeah,
Certain people to live
I agree
for him.
100%.
Certain
Yeah.
people to save. They're called his elect, is another way to say it.
Yeah.
And also, that which means if he chose some to go to heaven, that obviously means that he chose some to go to hell.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I don't know if I agree with you. Because don't you think predestination would have a numbing effect on the pursuit of holiness, and that it would numb the believer's motivation to do good works and to follow God? I think that predestination makes Christian revelation unnecessary.
Oh, no, I mean, Christian revelation is always necessary. It's just used in a different manner.
But predestination makes Christian revelation seem unnecessary.
Yeah, but, well, here you see, the fact that God chose me, the fact that God chose some people, in my mind, makes it more special than your salvation. Because he chose you for his purpose and for his will. And our commands in the Bible are pretty straightforward in that we go and share the gospel. We don't know who God chose. We don't know who's going where. But our call is to be faithful to what he's called us to. And that's to share the gospel. And so in reality, it elevates that.
That's his call, but I don't think that predestination guarantees that someone is going to... I think that if they're predestined, then they're not going to be as willing to do the things that God has called them to, because they are predestined. They're just going to think that, you know, they are saved, they're going to heaven. And
Well, they have to be aware that God has bestowed his grace upon them. And grace is just something that is huge in this. And we need to remember that that person needs to be thankful for the grace that God has given to them, you know?
Let me ask you this, John. How do you view grace? What do you see as grace?
oh, I believe in grace. I believe that grace is necessary and that we need to rely on grace. But I also believe in free will.
What do you mean by free will?
Free will, we have a choice of accepting or rejecting the grace that God has given to us.
Oh yeah? Well, this is how grace works. According to the Bible, okay? God has stamped eternity on my eyes. And by his grace, he's called me. And it's an irresistible grace. It's a grace that we can't reject or turn away. Yours is making man higher than he should be. Okay? This is what you're doing when you say, I have a choice in the matter, and it's I have a say in my salvation. This is how it works right here. This is God. That's God.
That's Father.
Big. This right here.
Big.
That's you.
Anybody
This is the gap.
Gap. Yep. That's the gap.
That's the gap.
You're God, you know.
That God in eternity looked on me and stamped eternity on my eyes. He stamped it on my eyes. Do you not understand what I'm saying right
I
now?
understand.
This is what you're saying is you have a part in your salvation. You're saying that you can save yourself. And that's not in the Bible.
I'm
Where's that in the
not-
Bible?
I'm not
Show me
saying-
in the Bible. Do you even have the Bible on your phone?
I actually
Yeah,
do.
there's a Bible
I actually do. I
There's a
have
Bible
that on
Maybe
my
you
phone.
should. Maybe you should read it.
I
King
have
James
it.
version is the only one to read.
I can't
I
believe
really
have
read
that
it
on
on
my
the
phone. No, I believe in grace.
Okay.
God
Yeah, but
extends
your
grace
definition
to
of
everyone,
grace,
but
your
not all
definition
will
of grace.
accept grace.
Oh, okay. So she's talking about the grace that God gives to everyone, which is
Common grace.
common grace. What about the other type of grace?
Special grace?
Special grace.
Special grace.
Yeah, see, you say free grace, but you're saying a different kind of grace.
Right.
So tell me what special grace is.
Special grace. Special grace.
It's so
It's quite special.
So special,
So
man.
Special grace.
Yeah.
Looks like this. All right. Common grace is when like everybody, like the fact that you're still breathing right now, like if you were to say, like that's common grace.
Mhm.
Special grace is unto the elect. Okay. The elect. That would be.
Hello.
I'm not sure about you. I'm questioning your
Oh,
salvation.
wow.
But,
Okay.
I mean-
for us, yeah, right. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to like say I don't want to be friends with you because you need to hear the truth.
Yeah, we're friends.
This is what I'm saying is this is the gospel truth, and I think you're misunderstanding me when I say that like we don't have a say in the matter because there's obviously something in there that we have something that play a part like repentance and stuff. So,
All right.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it's okay. We disagree on a couple of things, but I know we all agree on salvation and like, right when you're saved, it's a new birth, and like we're born again, right? Like it's just so great how
Happens
God,
right away, like that.
yeah, right away, like
It's great.
as soon as He saves us, like we are just born again, and it's great. Aren't you so glad about that? I'm
No,
thankful for
if-
that.
Whoa.
I agree with you on that. Isn't salvation a process?
Whoa. What?
I mean,
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? when you
Salvation is a process. You can't just be saved and done and that's it. Salvation is a process.
what about
and-
new birth? Like God has made us new
Like once,
creations.
like once, like you come to trust in Christ, like that's when you're saved.
I mean, holiness is always a
Holiness,
process.
yeah,
Like our
that's
whole
good.
life, like we are trying to become more
This is
holy.
why I like each
But
other.
if this was Johnny, if this was like, if salvation was a process, like what if you died like in the process? Like would you not go to heaven? Would you kind of go to heaven? Like if you didn't finish the process? I mean, like salvation starts at like you change, like new birth, man.
So you're telling me that once you accept Christ that you're just saved and you're a completely different person?
I mean, yeah, like where does it say God has made us a new creation? You know, you should really
Second
get that
Corinthians,
Bible app.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Bible app.
And it's not like that's it. That's not where it stops. But like salvation works as like instantly,
Instantaneous,
right?
yeah.
And then there's this process of holiness when God says, "Be holy, therefore." Because I am
There,
holy."
yeah, because
Jesus
God
says,
is holy, so-
"Yeah, be holy, therefore the Lord is holy."
I just cannot believe you don't believe in you. Like, I don't explain this process.
I'm
to me.
questioning.
Like,
I'm
does it
questioning
have to
salvation.
do with like sanctification?
Yes, it does have to do with sanctification, but I just don't understand how you can think that salvation is it just happens and
It's in the Bible, John. It's in the
I'll hold you back,
Bible.
man. I'll hold you back.
That's what it
Oh,
says.
it's getting really intense. I gotta poop. Gotta poop.
I just don't know. I just don't agree with you, John.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I'm seriously. I don't know if I'm going to see you in heaven or not. I'm really questioning.
Who are
this
you
right
to
now.
question my salvation?
Well, because you're spitting out these heresies that are they cause me to question yourself, like the fruit. You know what I'm saying? When like the fruit.
But if
Listen,
but
guys.
God's
Feel better?
I was thinking, like, I know we disagree on some things, but how long have we been arguing about this stuff? I mean, seriously.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
too long.
so I think that it's just best if we, focus on what we do agree on, which is grace, grace, God's grace, grace that will pardon and cleanse within. Yeah! Grace, grace, God's grace, grace that is greater